Which of you, if your son asks for bread, will give them a stone? Or if he asks for a fish, will give him a snake? We wouldn't do that. We wouldn't give, our kid wants a fish sandwich. We're not going to give him a snake full of rocks. God's not even, we ask God for a fish sandwich. It may not be a filet of fish sandwich from McDonald's. It may not come in the form of a store-bought uh, bun or store-bought loaf of bread and fresh fish from the seafood department or frozen fish out of the freezer department. It may not come in any of those forms. It may come in the form of we go home, we dig up a recipe, and we put all the ingredients together to bake a loaf of bread. And while we're waiting on that bread to rise, we go down into the lake. There's the lake right down the road from me. We go down into the lake, we get out our fishing pole, we bait up our hook, we throw it in the water, we catch a fish or two and bring them home. Put that loaf of bread in the oven while the bread's cooked, baking. We're cleaning that fish, and we're frying that fish up, deep frying it, baking it, whatever it is we want to do to cook that fish up. And then we pull our bread out, and we slice off a couple slices, and we put our newly cooked fish fillets from the fish that we just caught on top of that bread, and we put our toppings on it and our condiments. That may be how God provides that fish sandwich. We may have to work at it. I may not just say, hey, do you want a fish sandwich? Here's your McDonald's filet of fish. God's not McDonald's. We're not going to walk up to God and say, hey, give me a filet of fish meal. Put extra lettuce, tomato, put light on the tartar sauce, no cheese. However you like your sandwich. Give me them no salt fries. I want them fresh, and a large drink. If you do that to God, he's probably not going to respond. But if you walk up to God and say, "Look, I know you can provide it for me. I've run out of options. I don't know what to do, but I'm really hungry. I'd like a fish sandwich, maybe some French fries, and a drink." I say, God's not going to reach over the counter and say, well, here's your filet of fish meal. That'll be, what is it, 9 something now? I don't know. Just guessing. No, he's going to say, okay, well, this lady over here, she bakes really good bread. And this guy right here, he's a good fisher. You go talk to this lady, get you some bread. You go talk to this guy and get you a couple of fish, and then you go home and you make your fish sandwich. God just provided for you. He provided what you needed because you told him, I don't know how to obtain it. I've run out of options. Don't know how to fish, don't know how to bake, but I'd really like a fish sandwich. God says, well, here's the answer to that. This lady, she bakes bread. Get a loaf of bread from her. This guy's a fisherman. Go get a couple of fish from him. You go home and make you a fish sandwich. He provided that fish sandwich you needed by providing you resources you couldn't find. Okay, so continuing on, verse 11 of chapter 7. If you then, though you are evil, know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more will your Father in heaven give good gifts to those who ask him? That's pretty much what we just talked about. It says, though you are evil. One thing that's got to be understood is when Jesus said this, he's not necessarily saying we're evil. He's saying that due to original sin, due to free will, even Christians, even me standing behind this pulpit, even when I go to my home church the pastor there. We're all sinners. Some of us saved by grace. That's what Jesus means by though you are evil. He says, if we would give our child a loaf of bread and a fish so he can make a fish sandwich and not give him a rock, a snake, and a rock to beat it on when he wants fish and bread, then why wouldn't we count on God to do that for us? Why wouldn't we count on going to God and saying, look, I don't know how to bake bread and I can't fish, but I want a fish sandwich. Why would we expect God to say, well, that guy all the way back here in the back row, he's a stonemason. Go get a rock from him. And so little country boy over there is always running around in the woods and tends to come to church dirty because he just come out of the woods. I bet you he's got some wild game over there. You may need that rock to kill that snake or that bird or that rabbit or whatever it is. But wait a minute, I said I'd like some bread and fish because I'd like a fish sandwich. Doesn't sound like something God would do to them. What you would more expect is, hey, God, I don't have any bread. Don't know how to bake bread. I don't have any fish. I'm not a fisherman. But I really got a hanker for a fish sandwich. Well, we'd expect God to say, well, that lady right there makes some really good bread. Go get some bread from her. And that guy right there, he's a really good fisherman. Go get a fish from him. And then go home and make your fish sandwich. That's what we would expect. The little boy come to Jesus generally spoke directly to men. There's usually families involved. Jesus directly spoke to men. So this little boy goes to his dad. He says, hey, Dad, Mom's not around. She's off doing whatever. Maybe she's out feeding the cows or whatever. Who knows what mothers did in those days. Mom's busy. I'm hungry. I'd like a fish sandwich for lunch. Dad's not going to give him a rock and some live animal that he's got to kill with a rock and call it a fish sandwich. Dad's going to say, well, I know Mom's got some bread that stored up in the storage area. I don't know what they call it those days. And my buddy down here, he's been out fishing all day. Maybe he's got a fish. So why don't you go down and talk to him, see if he's got a fish you can have for lunch, and then go get some of that bread your mom's got stored away and make you a fish sandwich. That's what we expect Dad to do. Why wouldn't we expect God to do the same thing?